Alrighty then, in today's fun and exciting video, what we're going to be talking about is converting between two forms of the equation of the line. So converting between what's called slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b, that's right, and standard form. Okay, standard form has a 0 on one end, and it looks like ax plus by plus c equals 0. So we're going to convert between these two forms, so we're going to talk about how to do that. It's actually quite exciting. So first things first, what we're going to do, this is part 1. Converting to y equals mx plus b. Now, folks, when you convert to y equals mx plus b, what this means is you are isolating for y. So you want y by itself. See, y is isolated. So you're going to see a bunch of letters, and what you have to do is isolate for y. Y has to be on its own on one side of the equation. So here we go. What are the steps involved to isolating into y equals mx plus b form? So to get to y equals mx plus b, here are the steps. Step 1. Move any term. Actually, no, let's go back. Move the term with y to the opposite side of the equation. That, ladies and gentlemen, is step 1. Move the term with y to the opposite side of the equation. Step 2, divide both sides by the number in front of y. So let's do some examples, and I'll talk about these steps. Here we go. So example 1. Convert (3x minus y), let's say 2y, plus 6 equals 0 to y equals mx plus b. So what we have to do is we have to follow the steps. What does step 1 say? Step 1. Move the term with y to the opposite side of the equation. No problemo. Let me just rewrite this equation in standard form down here. So let's see here. 3x minus 2y plus 6 equals 0. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this term to the opposite side of the equation. That's step 1. Now one has to be careful because this sign over here actually flips on the opposite side. It becomes 2y positive. Now what's interesting is we don't need to write the positive because not writing a sign assumes positive. What do I have left on the left side? I've got 3x plus 6. So I'm going to write 3x plus 6. Cool. And then, last but certainly not least, step 2 is divide both sides by the number in front of y. So that's what I'm going to do. The number in front of y is a positive 2. So guess what? I'm going to divide both sides by positive 2. And you know what's exciting about the right side here? The 2's cancel, and I've got y by itself. Beauty. And then, you see this dividing line and how it covers both 3x and 6? Well, that means that this 2 divides individually to each term. Let me use a different color here. It divides individually to each term, both to the 3 and to the 6. So what you end up getting is 3 over 2x plus 6 over 2. Now, what is 6 over 2? That's right. 6 over 2 is 3. So I can simplify this to 3 over 2x plus 3. And there you go. My equation is isolated into y equals mx plus b. Now what's beautiful is that in this form I can tell exactly what the slope is. The slope, folks, is 3 over 2. M equals 3 over 2. This 3 over 2 tells me how slanted the line is. The line y equals 3 over 2x plus 3. Now this is the y-intercept. Isn't that exciting? So this is the y-intercept. It's the starting value. It's where the line hits the y-axis. Man, that's so interesting. I love it. Let's move on to the next page. So after converting into y equals mx plus b, what we have to figure out is how to take y equals mx plus b and convert into standard form. Ax plus by plus c equals 0. How are we going to do that? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward once you figure out what the steps are. Step 1. If you see a denominator, a fraction I should say, if you see a fraction, convert all terms to have a common denominator. So what I want is, if I see a fraction, convert all terms so that they have a common denominator. Okay, so I love that part about conversions, right? So we're going to convert every single term so that they have the same denominator underneath them. It's actually quite fun. Then cross out the denominators. Step 2. What we're going to do is we're going to move all terms to the same side of the equation. What this implies, guys, is that one of the sides is going to be 0. Also, make sure the number to the left of x, and what I mean by to the left of x is the number in front of x, has a positive sign. This is just convention. We like the number in front of x to have a positive sign. And also, notice how the equation looks. Okay, it has the x term first, then the y term, then the term that doesn't have x or y at all. So that's the order that I want to convert it to. So let's do some examples. Okay, let's do one example. Convert y equals 2 over 3x minus 5 to standard form. Yummy. First of all, step 1 says we have to convert all terms to have a common denominator, then cross out the denominators. Well, what are the denominators here for this y equals mx plus b? Let me rewrite it. Y equals 2 over 3x minus 5. What are the denominators here? Well, there's a 3 there. There's an imaginary 1 there, and there's an imaginary 1 there. So I need to convert them all so that they all have a common denominator. And in this case, the common denominator is 3. So I have to multiply the bottom of the left side by 3, but what I do to the bottom, I do to the top. Same goes for 5 over 1. Multiply by 3, multiply by 3. What do I get on the left side of the equation? Well, y times 3 is 3y over 3. 2x over 3 minus 15 over 3. Now what's interesting is they all have the same denominator. So what do? Well, you cross out the denominator. So the denominator is the same, so if I multiply both sides by 3, the 3's all go away, which is why I cancel. What am I left with? Well, I'm left with 3y equals 2x minus 15. And all I have to do is move all terms as part of step 2, move all terms so that they are on the same side of the equation. So you know what? I'm going to move that 3y over. What do I get? I get 2x, and I'm going to place this 3y, which currently has a sign of positive, to the opposite side, so I have to switch its sign to a negative. And I'm going to put it right after the x because that's the convention. Minus 15, and then I get 0. Nothing left on the left side. This is in standard form. I've got 0 on the left side on one side of the equation, and I got all the terms on the right side. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the beauty of converting between y equals mx plus b and standard form and vice versa. It's actually quite exciting, and to be honest, I love algebra. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.